Hello?
Hi, is that Mr. Mallon?
Yeah, he's speaking, sorry.
It's Theo Neil ring from Merseyside Police Complaints Department. Yeah, it's just regarding the online complaints form that you submitted to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just reviewing it. I've reviewed that, and I've reviewed the footage that you've provided to us as well.
Yeah.
It appears that we've reviewed it here, and it appears that the officer has just conducted a stop, and they've explained everything to you during the roadside. And from that footage that you've actually provided, it seems that you seem to understand what they'd explained to you at the end of it.
What do you mean, sorry, officer?
Yeah, so but basically they explained to you what the whole process they were going through. During the interaction, they did explain, and I think the sergeant was present as well. They've explained to you as well the reason for the stop, and everything, and it was to advise you with regards to your speed, and then due to that you'd committed a moving traffic offence, hence why they've done the drugs wipe.
I know, I understand, but based on opinion, you said I was speeding, but I know for a fact I was not speeding.
Yeah, whether you were speeding or not, they've chosen to offer you some advice, so they've not summoned you or anything. So that's their opinion. It's the opinion of a police officer. It's not. They've not thought it was appropriate to issue you with a ticket or a summons with regards to the speed. So it was just a difference of opinion, really, isn't it? There's nothing. I know you may be unhappy because you state you weren't speeding, but there's nothing. There's kind of nothing, no punishments for that, is there? It's just
I know, but
you say you. I've seen it. He wasn't trying to. You may have perceived that he was trying to intimidate you, but from what I've seen of the footage, that's not the case
officer,
at all. The officer
with all
was.
Due respect, I'm not surprised other officers agree with their fellow officers. You know what I mean? Like I don't really expect my complaints to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's basically you come through to this is the professional standards department in Merseyside Police, and we look at it with a knowledge of law, but also from an impartial kind of perspective, and we do try and promote any learning or anything, and disseminate that to our officers if they've done anything wrong, and you know there's a lot of things that we do see that can be wrong within the police force that we do put right. On this occasion, there's nothing wrong.
So your personal opinion, like he acted under his oath, integrity, transparency.
Yep.
That's your opinion, but
that's my opinion as an officer that works in.
There's 80,000 people who've seen the video and they agree with me that the officer was behaving like a child.
Yeah, are they all trained in the same level as law that I am, though? That's what you have to ask yourself.
I don't know your position. What's your position with the?
I'm a detective sergeant in Merseyside Police in the professional standards department.
So is that just your opinion on the matter, really, isn't it, officer?
It's my opinion, but I'm basing that opinion in law.
Well, that's like I didn't expect nothing to come with the complaint. I just wanted them to be like treat the public with more respect instead of trying to intimidate them, telling them to move away. You know. Yeah,
I mean, obviously the officer's entitled to his own personal space, and if you're putting a phone towards him, I mean, if I'm offering a professional opinion, but my further opinion would be that which the sergeant actually says to you, you've created the situation yourself from your perceived hostility towards the officers in the initial engagement.
But staying in a vehicle for my safety can't be twisted into more suspicion.
It raises the officer's level of suspicion if you're not open and transparent in the way you speak and deal with them, and that's what was explained to you during the interaction, and from viewing that footage, you did seem to take that on board. Once the officer explained it to you.
I felt intimidated under duress. I got out of the vehicle.
Yeah, unfortunately, as long as the officers have behaved in the correct manner, your perceived feelings don't really come into play. I mean, we deal with all sorts of people who perceive many different things due to whatever personal experiences they may have had previously. But we can only look at this incident on the facts, and the facts alone are the footage that was provided, and based on that, the officers acted appropriately.
Sergeant Jones, he acted professionally, but I just weren't happy with the fact that, you know, he allowed his colleague to, you know, treat me like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there'll be a difference of opinion between yourself and the police. I feel as if he did treat you with fairness. I mean, you said on one occasion that you felt intimidated and he was being aggressive towards you. At no point has he conducted any actions that I would perceive as aggressive towards you.
Well, when he's taking his body cam off his you know, collar, and then he's pointing it in my face and, you know, saying, and I said, you'd stop intimidating me, officer, and then, you know, he's going, I'm a boxer, I'm playing rugby. You know, that's not professional, is it, officer? You know.
Obviously, officers interact with people on a level that they understand. You've pointed the phone towards him, and I don't think he's pointed it in your face, because depending on where you were holding the phone, it can be seen that there's some distance between where he's holding the camera. He's holding it in front of him, and it appears he's making a record of what's going on, just as you did.
Yeah, I know, but like, say if I wasn't recording and I request his body cam, I know for a fact that's not gonna be available for me. That's gonna go missing.
Body cam footage, any body cam footage, you can request it via the website.
I understand, but I know, like, I've requested the footage, but like, I'm not expecting it because I know it's gonna go missing. And that's just my personal opinion.
Right.
Because it's known to go missing. You know, it's not going to go anywhere, like me complaints, I understand, officer, but like, a training can be implemented. This is just my feedback.
Yeah, and you know, we do listen to feedback, and that's why we've conducted a review. We review it because you've provided that complaint, and from our review, it appears there's nothing that the officer's done wrong on that occasion, and there's a sergeant present who fully explains the circumstances.
I know, there's 80,000 people who've seen the video and they disagree otherwise, so...
Why is there 80,000 comments on there that tell you
not
80,000,
but I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of people who agree with what the officer was very unprofessional.
How do you understand how many actually agree with it and they just haven't commented because they don't deem fit to comment?
Oh, we're just going round in circles, obviously. Like, you're obviously, like, no disrespect, but you're obviously going to side with your colleague. You know, he broke me mum's back in 2011, and the footage went missing then as well. Or, like, you know, they just investigate themselves.
Yeah, obviously, you know, I've reviewed this footage. If there was something I was concerned about, it would be dealt with appropriately. Because I'm not concerned about the interaction on the footage, and stop search is something that the Chief Constable and the Home Office are now promoting as a method to reduce knife crime and disorder. It's something that, you know, is going to be used a little bit more often. Stop and search legislation. Unfortunately, it will continue to be used, and from reviewing this footage, that they've not done anything wrong. And they've only stopped you, and they've actually offered you some advice. They've used the discretion by not issuing a speeding ticket.
I know, but I would have contested that in court, officer, because I know for a fact I was not speeding.
Yeah, but and that's up to you to contest if you chose to do so. But the officers have thought it was appropriate on this occasion just to give you a warning regarding speeding.
Not that I'd rather go to court, but you know. But if he had no option, that's what I'd do.
But it saves the hassle, doesn't it? You know, you may or may not have been speeding. The officers perceived you were speeding. You said you weren't. It's gonna, if it did go to court, then it's, you know, it's one word against the other, or the word of two police officers against you. And then, but on this occasion, they have used the discretion with you.
Do you know what I don't understand, though, officer, is how come he drug tested me if he pulled me for speeding? Like, isn't he got to be reasonable grounds for that?
If you commit a moving traffic offence, speeding would be a moving traffic offence. They can do that.
And he were ordering me out the vehicle, which by law there's nothing in law that says I have to get out the vehicle.
Yeah, I've seen that. He didn't order you out the vehicle. He asked you to get out and to assist, and you stated on the video that you were doing it under duress, but you just by stating you were doing it under duress doesn't mean he's ordered you out the vehicle. He's just requested you. I did look at that particular bit with interest to see whether he had actually forced you out the vehicle or anything like that. He pointed out obstruction as an option to him once he explains that he could consider drug testing you. If you were to obstruct him during that procedure, then you could be arrested for obstruct or failing to provide a sample for analysis. But he was very careful not to say he was forcing you out the vehicle. He was requesting. He made a number of requests, and then you said you were getting out under duress.
I know, but I understand, officer. But like, I'm not anti-police or nothing. I'm anti-bad police. Like, I don't like when police speak down to me, and
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. If you've had a bad experience, then you're entitled to make a complaint, and we do receive a great deal of complaints that we look into and we investigate, and we do a lot of work behind the scenes on them. But on this occasion, it's not one of those situations.
Fair enough. Anyway, may I take your name for the record, officer?
Yeah, it's Stephen O'Neill.
Right,
Michael 4664. I'm a detective sergeant in the Professional Standards Department.
Thanks a lot, officer. Well, on my feedback on all in all, it's just like if you could implement some training and just like approach the public with like in a friendly manner. Do you know what I mean? Don't assume everyone's guilty. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's taken on board, and I do send out a communication across the whole force with regards to stop search. So it is something that we do focus on, and we try and promote the body cam in all stop search as well. But yeah, if you want me to provide the officer some feedback, I can forward your complaint to him if you feel that would be helpful to him.
Yeah, that'll be great. And if there's no retaliatory action, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'll forward the complaint to the officer and ask and his supervisor and just ask them to review it as well.
No worries. Thanks a lot anyway, officer.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Malone. Thank you. Bye.